Now, as Ryan, Trenton, and Sean grab your attention towards the world of sports, food, and entertainment, and away from the things that are probably more important, we apologize for nothing and anything that may be spoken, learned, or forgotten today. This is the Real Tree Shaker Show.
Hello and welcome to the Real Tree Shaker Show. I am Ryan.
And I am Trenton.
And I'm Sean. We thank y'all for listening today as we go through the world of sports, entertainment, life, food, top fives, running backs. We'll see what we get into. So, welcome back, guys. How we doing? That last episode was pretty good, I think.
Yes. It
Good time.
was somewhat normal.
Somewhat normal, kind of, yeah.
I feel like borderline normal. Yeah, so say somewhat. I agree.
Somewhat.
There you go. Yes, for sure.
So we'll try to do somewhat better on this episode. If you missed it, last episode we went over the quarterback on Netflix series, which we all thoroughly have enjoyed to this point. You guys need to catch up and finish it. It ends really cool. Kind of jaw drop a little bit, but I won't give any spoilers. But that's what the internet's for. And then we also hit up on the Major League Baseball trading deadline.
Yes.
You're in airplane mode? Oh, okay. But, the big question, Ohtani's on the board. Is he on the board? On the block, I guess. We don't know. And then we went over the Madden ratings, which I think the guys at EA Sports should watch more. These ratings, but that's for another day. But I think, guys, let's just jump in right away. Here's our top five. And this week, we're going to do top five ballpark foods. So, Mr. Anderson, why don't you start us off?
Okay, so I'll just mention some quick honorable mentions. So I always have this because I love to eat, I love food, I love baseball, so it's perfect.
Now hold up. Hold up. Now when we say food, are we talking about like snacks as well? Just overall, just something to eat at the game, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just want to make sure.
I will say I did not include beer. I know beer, some people consider it a food, but I didn't put beer.
Yeah.
So beer would be tops for sure. But just saying, so I did not include beer.
Yeah,
yes,
that
it
was
would
my
be.
that was my number one as well.
But
so
okay, we'll hear the rest. But okay, so
I'd rather not eat beer.
I do prefer to drink it, but still.
So, yeah, frozen beer is not very good.
No.
Yeah. So ones I did but not make my top five, but I still consider good. Cracker Jacks. Really, the older Cracker Jacks, the newer ones, they kind of suck. I don't know if y'all had them in a while, but they suck now. Popcorn, French fries, cheeseburger, cotton candy. Those did not make my top five, but they're all foods I thoroughly enjoyed again. So, number five, I kind of put it all in one group. Ice cream, lemon chill, slush, whatever you want to call it. You eat it with a spoon. So, I mean, I would say
anything cold with a spoon.
Yeah,
that's good under that list. Okay.
Yes, Dippin' Dots, whatever you want to call it. So, but I do enjoy that. Number four, peanuts.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people might think that's low. Peanuts, I do like them. They're great with everything, but not my top. Still enjoy them. Three, chicken fingers, chicken strips, whatever you want to call them. I don't know why. The ballpark, it's just a banging food. It's a good finger food to eat while you're watching the game. I don't know. I just love it. dip it in some good spicy ranch or good honey mustard. They're delicious.
Honey mustard all day.
No,
Yes, sir. Totally agree.
2 nachos. I mean, we know how much we all love chips, so nachos at a baseball game,
What?
amazing. Yeah, and then number one,
It's American.
yeah, right? Number one hot dog.
It's
So
America. It's America.
nothing like a dog and a beer. I mean, it's every
All
game
right.
I've been to that I've been an adult or 21 and up. I don't think I've never gone without getting a dog and a beer. So
Yeah.
it's just
What's on your hot dog?
mustard,
Whoop.
onions if they got it, if they're
Ugh.
fresh. Relish sometimes depends. I usually
Not
don't put
the
ketchup,
mustard
but
relish.
I would say, yeah, mustard, onions, and relish. I don't mind a
Okay.
chili cheese dog every once in a while too.
Oh hell yeah!
Actually, I had
But
those tonight.
yeah, there you go. See, so
Nice.
Just trying to get in the right frame of mind.
there you go. Exactly.
So, all
So
right. That's a pretty dope list, and your honorable mentions were pretty good. That was a good top 5 in itself.
well, thank you.
So these lists are tough to do. So
They
all
involve
right,
food. It's hard.
all right. So recap: Ryan at 5's got the slushy icy, right?
Yes.
Peanuts, chicken strips with honey mustard,
Or
probably honey
ranch.
mustard, or spicy ranch. That's right.
Spicy
Nachos
ranch. Yes.
and a hot dog.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
not bad, not bad. All right, Mr. T, number
Let's see
5.
here.
Pity the fool.
I pity the fool who won't mess with my list.
I pity the food don't pick my peanuts.
They'll be messing with my Cracker Jacks either, because I crack your jack. You know what I mean?
Crack your jack, fool.
Yeah. So, a couple of honorable mentions, I guess. Much like Ryan, I'd say popcorn. Something about stadium popcorn. I mean, and you can put that at baseball or say football game or a basketball game. It's just something about that stadium popcorn. It's just really good. I don't know. It's different than movie popcorn, but I don't know. It's salty in that bag, whichever it may be. It's easy to munch on. So, but
Yeah.
it'll fill you up for a short period of time. So it's kind of hard to make that list for my personal self. And then I'd say the same thing, but cheeseburgers, barbecue sandwiches, like whatever particular state and area you're in, just those kind of sandwich deals. I'm sure California's probably got some, some healthy, nice avocado wraps or whatever they're going to do.
Avocado toast. Come
Yeah.
on.
So
Avocado toast.
yeah, whatever exactly they do on that particular side.
Gluten-free fish tacos.
Exactly. I'm sure maybe there's some fish. I mean, I'm sure there's something like that, and no knock to it. I just haven't experienced that. Not saying that I actually will go eat that when I go to a game. But yeah, something along the lines of that. And then yes, French fries, cheese fries, something along the lines of that. Tater tots. Maybe even go as far as like a Frito pie option if they have something like that. But I'd rather just add all that to my nachos, which brings me to my next point. Actually, not at all. My number five is gonna
Yes.
be my number five is gonna be peanuts and Cracker Jacks all in one because I kind of like going to a game and once you get there, I guess you can probably even throw popcorn in there. I can take that off the honorable mention. Just something to snack on when you kind of get there, walk into, carry around. Easy to eat, easy kind of lug around at times in case you go into the merch stores or whichever it may be. Plus, if you leave it behind, you usually eat most of it, so screw it. But peanuts sitting there in the first couple of innings, man, I'm not opposed to that at all. I mean, maybe even some sunflower seeds, but you don't want to be spitting those suckers all over someone's nice hairdo in front of you.
Or choke
Or
on
do
them if someone.
you?
Yeah.
Or do you? Maybe they're a
Maybe
Mets fan.
so.
Maybe they're a Mets fan. They might
Yeah.
deserve some nuts.
Yeah.
Sorry, some seeds in the back of their head. Whoops. I got number 4. I'm gonna go with ice cream. I think it's just a fun snack. It's ice cream. I mean, much like Ryan, he said about anything cold like that, but I'm not a big fan of Dippin' Dots, I can honestly say. But so I'd rather go with an ice cream of some sort or something frozen like that along those lines, and nice and refreshing. And you usually have that
Yes.
after some of these other snacks. Um, three, I'm gonna go pizza. Now
Oh
that's
yeah.
gonna be that door's
Oh,
gonna be left a little open based on what pizza it is. Now, if it's some kind of Papa John's or something like that, you can get out of here with that. Like I'm gonna completely pass on that. But if you get some of those like random good, just overall slices of pie, man, they're just sometimes really solid, and they just really hit the spot at times, especially when you're drinking beer, especially after walking
Yeah.
around or doing whatever it be. But yeah, just something about a good old slice of pepperoni, like in the seventh inning after the beer sales and stuff are done. Yeah, 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 tasty stuff.
what if they
Number
sold?
two, go ahead,
Hold on.
go
What if
ahead.
they sold cold pizza at the ballpark?
I would still buy it and eat it.
Absolutely.
What's
Cold
on your
pizza fine.
pizza? What's
For
on your
myself,
pizza? Yeah.
my favorite. I like to keep it classy, just do a pepperoni like extra cheese, but
What about at the ballpark though?
just keep
At
it
the
simple.
ballpark when
Just
you get it.
just keep it
Okay.
simple. Yeah, keep it simple.
Okay.
You're gonna try to go eat all that. It's probably gonna like fold over or something like that. You're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
Nah. Just give me that thing. Let me fold it in half real quick. We good. I'll start walking and talking. So,
Yeah.
number two,
Yeah.
I have nachos. Uh, there's not much to say. Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody loves nachos. Easy to eat. You can make them all different ways. But I will say, you have to have the jalapenos. Have to have the
Yes.
jalapenos with them.
Definitely.
Something about those pickled jalapenos with that cheese. And you think it's going to be super hot, people. It's not. It's just simple flavoring. It's not going to light you up. I promise you. I'll Stephen A. Smith you right now.
Ah. Oh,
But
yeah.
I would say add a little chili on those nachos too. It'll take you a long ways.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Yes, definitely.
And then of course number
But
one.
hold on.
no-
With nachos, the only complaint I have: more cheese on more chips, not just cheese in the middle. Anyways,
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree with
Layer.
you. I agree.
I want to make them myself and layer them.
Yeah,
that's how I do it. I
yeah.
spread them
Yeah.
out. I take the time and make sure every chip
Yeah.
has cheese.
And
Yeah.
then give
No
me an
lift,
extra,
no
and then give
chip
me an extra
left
side of
on.
the cheese so I can still dip them in there for the ones I missed. Absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
absolutely. And then of course number one, the given obvious, and that's gonna be pretzels. So I'm kidding. It's a hot dog.
Ooh.
Right.
I was like, okay.
Now, I mean, come on now. Hot dog's a hot dog. I don't care what they're made out of,
Yeah.
people. I don't care what they all say. No matter different stadiums and styles, whoever they top theirs, whatever. It's just awesome, and it's kind of like a classic kind of thing. Sometimes there's nothing better than a hot dog and a beer, or a hot dog and a Coke. Like,
Yeah.
even though I don't drink those anymore, but still, I would probably drink a Coke at that game or at a game for
What's
sure or
that?
something.
What's the Alabama song? We like our hot dogs with mustard and relish.
Mustard and relish. Yeah, oh yeah.
Our beers flat as can be.
So what do you put on your hot dog, T?
I keep it simple. I'm a mustard guy. You get out of here with the mayo. I'd actually will put ketchup on there at times. Yeah, just mustard. And relish. I would say every once in a while. But I just keep it just
What
mustard
about
or ketchup.
jalapenos
Yes. Um,
if they have them available?
it
You know.
depends on the situation because if you had a couple beers and you've already had something and then you've had this and you add that stuff to it. You're not trying to go into the seventh inning stretch, if you know what I mean. Like you have to go.
I want to have some good dust.
Yeah, well,
Well,
you're gonna be doing more than dust.
that would help.
You're gonna be on a line praying. Like you better get out of the way, and then you're gonna get in there, and it's gonna be a wreck.
Right.
Well, that at the seventh inning stretch, that dustwood helped get those sunflower seeds out of that person's hair.
That's
You
true.
know,
True.
so
That is true.
that's
Like I got my own
multitasking.
person.
True.
I got my own little
Eat that,
personal fan behind them.
eat
You know,
that, youth of America. That's multitasking right there.
how's
Right.
the how was the game, honey? Oh, it was fine. There was someone. So there was a nice fan just blowing on the back of my neck there, all over my hair, everywhere.
It
It was
would,
great.
it was just random. It would just come and go.
Yeah.
Coming
it
down really.
felt it felt like it was coming at different angles too. So I
Right.
just didn't know.
But
So all right.
I will say it. A chili dog is like so hard to not get at one of those games. They're just is you have to kind of sit down somewhere else and eat that sucker, if not stand, because
Yeah.
you're gonna take that thing back down to your seat and you're gonna sit down and you're gonna get after that thing. And then here comes someone that's gonna get up and get a beer or have to go somewhere. It's gonna happen. You're gonna drop it. You're not gonna enjoy it. So nah, eat that
Yeah.
sucker up there by the concession stand, and then get down there and dust away.
That's
But
There
awesome.
you go.
yeah, that's my five.
Very nice. All right. So peanuts, Cracker Jacks, popcorn. You all grouped in at 5. Ice cream.
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
doing like ice cream cone or ice cream like sundae with fudge and cherry
Ooh.
sprinkles?
Yeah.
If they have a waffle cone, I'm doing cone. If not, I'm doing a little sundae kind of thing. But I'm probably doing the
And
You
then
know
sundae.
what they do?
If I'm
You
probably
know
doing the
what I see
sundae
them
and
do? They put it in
waffle.
one of those little mini helmets too.
yeah,
Oh yeah,
there you
They
yeah.
go.
put them a lot of times in those little mini
But
I
helmets.
love
if I
that.
get a waffle cone like on the side of one of them helmets like that, I'm all in.
No
Yeah.
doubt. All right. So then 3, we have pizza, pepperoni, nachos,
Yes.
evenly covered chips, please, and the good old hot dog. So,
Yes.
all right. So now I guess it's to me. So,
Yes.
Man,
uh,
now I'm hungry for a hot dog.
all right. So my
Right.
quick honorable mentions: cotton candy, not really into that. For the kids, yeah, sure. Fries and popcorn were my honorable mentions. I love popcorn just as a snack, but at the ball game, I don't know, not as appeasing. But at 5 for me, I have a chili dog, mustard, chili, onions. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big eater at ball games. I don't know. Something about being there and just getting into the game. That's why I was disappointed that
That's
Ryan took beer off the list because that kind of throw my whole thing because
well,
I'm so
half the
I
experience is the food, man.
yeah because well I mean you could take a quick sip in between pitches right but you can't take a quick bite in between pitches because you could choke because Ronald Acuna could hit one over the fences
You take a
and
bite in between the batters.
He's
yeah
got a
but
point.
yeah whatever this is my top
You
5
you
okay
eat a
you
chip
know
while you
This is
watch them. See?
this is my top five. Okay.
whatever 5 is a hot dog assholes
Okay.
maybe I'll just put cotton candy there.
So what if they don't have chili? Will you eat a dog with just mustard on it?
Then that's where I
Mustard
go
and onions?
relish onions.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Okay.
or a hot dog with ketchup and cheese is good too.
Yes. Yes.
So,
True.
That's very true.
That's my
but
kids' favorite.
yep, Emma's too.
Ketchup and cheese.
Yep, that's all
That's
she
why you have to
gets.
use to get multiple. It sucks because definitely hurts the wallet, especially at a
Yep,
ballpark.
Sure.
sure. Yep, and you can't really smuggle those in. So, at 4, I have Cracker Jacks. I totally agree with Ryan that they're not what they used to be.
Yeah.
But what is in the snack world? But
True.
growing up, yeah, Cracker Jacks was a must for
Yeah.
a ball game. Just
Too bad they didn't
simple,
swap it out
good.
for Crunchy Munch. Crunchy Munch is good.
Yeah, I
Different, a
agree.
little bit different flavor and all, but like that would be a nice option though as well.
But yeah, I love the during the Braves games, during the seventh inning stretch, the announcers throw Cracker Jacks from the broadcast booth to the fans.
Oh, that's
So
slick. I didn't know that.
yeah, yep, yeah, they load them up with like tons and tons, and Brandon Gaudin, and if Jeff Francoeur or Pete Moylan or Nick Green are in there doing the commentary, that's what they do during the seventh inning stretch. So
Oh,
that
that's
gives
cool. Heck yeah.
it
They
gives
sell loose Cracker Jacks or like boxes of them.
boxes of them.
Okay, I thought you meant they just opened a
Yeah,
box and
Start
yeah. You
shaking it out.
imagine imagine Jeff Francoeur throwing Cracker Jacks at a
Get
little
out of the way. Here
2-year-old.
comes my Cracker Jack. They
He's
better be
wearing a
careful,
Mets
man.
shirt.
You're gonna
Throw
poke
extra
someone's head
peanut
in
on
one of the
him.
boxes. I wonder how
I
many people have
guarantee
been.
a kid has been hit with a
Yeah,
box.
I was gonna
I
say.
guarantee a kid's
I was
been
gonna
hit
say.
with
I
a
wonder how many people
box.
have been taken out by it. Like, hey, like, oh
I'm
god,
sure there's a lawsuit
Jimmy.
coming because someone
Yeah.
lost a grip on a Cracker Jack box. But anyways, so at number 3, I have nachos. Of course, with like we have discussed, every chip covered, jalapenos. T, you're right. There's some that cheese and the jalapenos. It just oozes into each other, and it just
Yeah.
makes the perfect bite. So at number 2, I will go with soft baked pretzels. Can't go wrong with those. Nice, soft, salty. Dip them with cheese sauce or the mustard, or just by themselves. I mean, and it's quick snack food, so you get right back into it in between batters. Um, so and less
Pretzels are
chokeability.
good.
Pretzel,
Pretzels
yeah.
are good.
I mean, it's
I
just
don't eat them
those.
Yes.
often, but they are good though.
Yeah, that's one of those things I could just one after another, and I don't really fill up unless you just stop eating them, and then
Yeah.
let everything expand.
You gotta
Um,
stop.
yeah. So that
Oh,
leaves my number 1 ballpark food is peanuts.
I like it.
I,
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
love baseball and peanuts. There's no better combo. So uh, I
It's
remember
fun
the
sitting there
first.
watching the game
I
and just
remember,
chewing through those things.
yeah. Well, I remember the first time I went with my father-in-law, brother-in-law, and his kids, and my son, and we went to the Nationals and Braves games up in DC, and first time Jack had been, and by like the second inning, this kid is just covered in pretzel shells. Like, didn't even like
Peanut shells, you mean?
peanut shells. Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't swipe any of them off, like until he was done with the bag of them, man, and then just peanut dust and shells.
Made you proud.
Oh
Made
man,
you proud.
great. Like I don't even think he watched any of the game, but I know he thoroughly enjoyed his freaking
They
peanuts.
just something
And the
about
Braves,
them. They're good.
and the
It's just
Braves
great.
won that game too, so it was pretty
They
good.
taste a lot better at the
Hey, guess
ballpark.
what? California has too. They
What's
have
that?
unshelled peanuts, so you don't
Fancy.
have to shell them. It's California.
Yeah,
Well, that's not fun.
avocado
I know,
peanuts,
right?
avocado toast peanuts,
Just roasted peanuts,
roasted or boiled. Boiled peanuts are
Oh,
bomb.
there's
probably.
lots of people out there that love them some boiled peanuts.
I can't do
Yeah,
boiled peanuts.
Can't
I'm
say I'm one
sorry.
of
I
them.
don't. I don't do it. Yeah,
Uh-uh.
not me.
Mm-mm. Absolutely not. All right, so that's our top 5 ballpark foods.
Hope it
I'm
made you
hungry.
hungry. Made
Yeah,
myself
Yeah,
hungry. That's for sure.
yeah. Made me
dude.
hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that and something else has made me hungry throughout this evening.
Right.
So, um,
Oh, was it work? Work made you hungry?
absolutely, yes.
Work
Yes.
made you.
Yes.
This is the hardest I've worked today. So, I'm okay with that.
It couldn't have been
But
that.
yeah,
Couldn't have been
beer would have
couldn't
been
have been that
beer would
mountain
have been my
Jimmy.
number 1. You know,
When that
Beer would
mountain
have been one.
beer would have been 1 because
Oh yeah.
beer and baseball go hand in hand,
Yeah. Yeah. For
especially
Yeah,
sure.
definitely so.
for $15 a pop, and you got to sip on it, and it's warm and 2 innings,
Man, I'm telling you that Leinenhagel at the Braves field, man. It's awesome.
Luke
It was
and
at
Kegel. Luke and Kegel.
Lincoln Kegel, yeah,
Summer Shandy.
$7 for
Mm.
the 24-ounce cans.
Well, we'll be there broadcasting
So
for that
yes,
next year. So
yes,
get
for
ready for
sure,
that, folks.
You can goggle
for
be there for
sure.
sure.
Yes.
All
It'll be
right,
a legal
guys.
goggle.
So moving along, as we touched upon earlier in the last episode, the value of the running back and where it has gone
Yes.
in the last couple years. It's kind of insane to think that when you're some teams, it's like your best player, and it's
Most
like,
youth player for
Yes.
sure.
it's like, are you a positionless player, kind of like the NBA, where you got a lot of positionless players now, but they're still carrying the ball like 250 plus times, plus blocking, plus, receiving. Uh, so they get hit the most. But why do you guys think that the value of them has gone down?
I think it's lifespan of them. I mean, you get 3 or 4 good years out of them, and I mean, that's kind of been the norm for a long time, really. Um, Owners don't want to give them guaranteed money, um, so that's definitely changed. You see quarterbacks play longer, running backs play shorter. So I think that's why they get the big money. Um, but the game's just changed. It's a passing league now. It's running back by committee, not running back by one guy. So I can't think of one team that the running back gets over 350 carries anymore when there used to be 10 to 15. Half the teams in the league had a running back that got over 350 carries a year. No team has a running back that gets over 350 carries a year. So I mean, that's just what I think. It's just running back by committee now. And so the running back value is taking a huge hit, you know. So
I
how about you, T?
don't disagree at all. I think that certain offensive protocols, or not protocols, I'm sorry, but play calls and stuff like that, or certain offensive coordinators out there in certain franchises, like their first go to is run the ball, and so whether it's a passing league or not, or has developed into a passing league, um, those the RBs are still looked at a lot as like they're the rough hard yards to get to try to keep stuff that like that going. Um, and then you start playing into like weather games and stuff like that. You take a nasty day up in New England or Buffalo. You can take that passing game out of the equation. I mean, at least as far as some like the deep stuff, maybe a fast offense or something like that.
Sure. Wasn't
And
that
so
that game last year up in Buffalo where New England only threw the ball like what, 3 times? Remember
the
that real
Yeah,
last year, the
bad
year
school
before
game?
with the win or
Yeah,
yeah.
something like that.
yeah, the huge win. But
The win, yeah, it was 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. But I think, again, I think this factors into the like certain schemes, certain franchises for them. And if you look at some of these guys that are kind of speaking out, they have kind of been the workhorses for their particular offenses, and I could see why they want to be signed to have more money to be protected for and things like that. I totally get it. I don't like the fact that some of the I guess the owners or whoever you want to look at that do their contracts and things like that. I don't like that they're just kind of like, oh, you don't like that? Well, cool, we'll just move on, kind of thing. But it is more of like a running back by committee unless you just have that dominant horse. And even if you do, if you look at some of these other, a lot of the teams, they have that second running back that can catch the ball, run the ball, maybe do something that primary first running back can't. And they think of like fresh legs and stuff like that too. So I I get why some of these guys are upset in their certain positions. I understand why Jacobs is a little upset and maybe not reporting, but and the same thing when Saquon didn't. But you should take the money while it's there because I don't know if it's going to get any better. I don't like the situation, so to say, but I would take it. I would take it. I think there is solutions to them. I just don't necessarily know what they are, but it would be nice to see them kind of get some guaranteed money first coming out. I mean, they're playing in college for say, 2 to 3 years, maybe even like 4 years, and they're carrying the ball a lot for some of those teams, and they're using that body. So it would be nice if they got a little bit more. Bijan got a little something, to start with. So that's not a bad little start versus just say, a couple hundred thousand. So I don't know what the solution is to it, but again, they should be looked at a higher value than I think they actually are. But there is question on the longevity, and you're just looking at natural injuries out there that can happen without anybody tackling you. So you just take the physical part into it. It's definitely a risky play, but you should treat those guys with respect no matter what. That's what I think.
Oh, for sure. I mean, so like Ryan was saying about 350 carries, Henry had 349 last year,
I was gonna say,
and
led the league.
yeah, he's
his
the
his career
safest.
high is 378. Josh Jacobs had 340.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean
I mean,
that's a
they're
lot.
closing in on it, but
Again,
you
though,
know,
it's just one of
I think
those
one thing
things.
you see, yeah, I
I was
think I
just
was going to say that one thing you see is that they do their they run out the rookie contract, they get the franchise tag, and they're like, okay, done, 5 years, we're good. You're not going to be any good anymore. Zeke is what 2 years removed from having 13 or 1400 yards.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it was
Well,
two
that's
years
when
ago,
yeah,
and no
Jerry
one wants
Jones.
him, and no
Right.
one
Well,
wants him.
yeah,
Jerry Jones was stupid and gave him that extension, like 2 years left on his original deal,
Yeah,
and they paid him that big money. So
yeah,
I also wouldn't compare Zeke to any of these other guys, though. You know what I mean? I know he had a great year a couple years back, but like he also had a heck of an offensive line. I mean, who couldn't run
true.
behind that though? That's the, you know.
true, good point.
I wouldn't compare Zeke to Jacobs or a Henry, a Saquon, or anything like that. Like I don't, I never even thought he was really that star. He
You
was
think he
solid.
should have a job in the NFL?
Yes, there's a role for him for sure. I mean, you get down inside the 20, you get down inside the 10 to say goal line area and all that, that power back kind of run. Yeah, yeah, he'll
Yeah,
power through some people, get down there. If your goal is to score touchdowns, then he's got to roll somewhere. Yes, I think starter. No, not
yeah,
unless not unless some kind
I
of
agree.
crazy injuries.
Yeah, I just think it's tough for them because they touch the ball the second most on the field next to the quarterback. So,
Yeah,
but yet they take the most punishment.
Yep,
So, and they usually lead your team in total yards from scrimmage. Usually score the most touchdowns.
especially against
So
them.
right. So and that's increased over the last few years. Throwing to running back. So it's like all these touches, all this production, plus pass blocking too. They got to take on linebackers that have like a 7 yard head start that just plow into these guys, and
Very true.
four or five guys hitting them in the hole, four or five guys laying on top of them. And it's
yeah,
just so. I mean, so that's where I get where I think they should be paid more, right around the Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry range. But yeah, like the longevity isn't there. It's weird because back all the guys, not, a few years ago, Emmitt Smith, he played forever. But, you know, some do, some don't. But I don't know. That's just weird. And I know they keep having these Zoom meetings to discuss the value, but what can they
Yeah.
do? I mean, go all running backs go on strike, you
This
know?
isn't the NBA. The players have no control.
Yeah.
No, not until like
So
2030, I think,
yeah,
when the CBA
and
runs
even
out.
then, I still wonder about that. Then who knows? It's the owners have all the power in the NFL by far.
Yep, hands down they do.
So
The old crazy Ursay
So
even said the same stuff the other day. So as nutty as he is, he had a good point. Like, they're not gonna go back.
which I mean, I don't know how much I agree with that, with the owners being in charge that much. I get it because I look at what company do you go to, and the employees have all the power. What company do you work at, and an owner does not have, that owns the place you work at does not have the power.
Right,
You know, but
right,
yet in the NBA, the players have all the power. Well, if I was an owner, I'd say F it. We'll just lose. I don't care. Forget it. That's how the player. I do think the owners should be the ones in charge. They're the billionaires putting up all the money,
right.
and I know a lot of people think that's probably not a very popular outlook on it. But I mean, they put the money up. I get it. The players sacrifice, and they should be rewarded for what they do. There's
sure,
no doubt.
I get
There's no
that.
doubt.
I get
Yeah,
that.
But
They sign the checks.
yeah, but they sign the checks. They put their billions of dollars into this league. The
Sure,
players didn't. You
but
know.
I mean, as an owner, um, just because you own the team, do you know the football aspect?
exactly, exactly.
It's like since Jerry Jones took over, we all know the history of the Cowboys. Since he
Sure.
became GM. But I think you hire football people to do football things. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
you would definitely throw in your say, like if there's a big time prospect, and
Sure. Sure.
because
Sure.
yeah, you're ultimately you're signing the checks, your name's on that. But I think, I don't know, it's tough uh, for these running backs. I mean, nothing's going to change, and like you said, billionaires are tight with their money, and it's
Sure.
that's like why maybe teams don't win, because their owners
Right.
are tight. It's like the Golden State Warriors. Like, how many years have they paid that huge luxury tax?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they've won
Forever.
championships, or they've
Yeah.
been in contention. Other than that couple of years ago when everybody was hurt. But
Right.
no, I mean, they talk about making money and wanting to make money or save money. Well, if you win, you make more money. You have more
Yeah.
exposure. Your brand grows. So it's like, the Cowboys valued it like 8 million plus or 8 billion plus. Imagine if they won another Super Bowl, God forbid.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
mean,
I would never hear the end of that. But uh but
Yeah, I'm
just
not sure.
imagine how
I
much.
am proud,
Trying to
and
remember that ever happening. That is for sure.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Let me try. Oh, it's not me.
I would say that I'm definitely pro player. I agree. I mean, the players should
Definitely.
get paid, but I understand where they're coming from because hey, I mean it's just like
It's
you
still a
know
business.
it's still a business, yeah, a
Yeah.
billion-dollar business, and you're running it, and you're the CEO of it, and you're the owner of it. So your job is to make money, not lose it.
Right.
So you've got to you've got to make the right choices to make money. So
Sure.
you
But
know,
I mean, think about, like we've been talking about, Mahomes when he retires. If they win a couple more Super Bowls, like, how
sure.
much is the value of Kansas City
Oh,
in the
huge.
middle of
Well,
America?
if the Commanders just went for 6 billion,
Right.
what would the Cowboys sell for? I'm not trying
Oh,
to be a
well, there's
Cowboys lover, but I mean,
no.
10
I bet
billion,
you. Well, I mean,
Probably.
now with the
12
Saudis,
billion.
well,
Maybe more.
someone from Saudi Arabia is going to come in and offer like $3 billion for a team, and it's just like, you know, who's going to compete for that? But yeah, no,
Three, 3 billion. Oh, they'll have to pay more than that. The Commanders just went for six.
Yeah.
billion.
Oh yeah. You're right. So
6
maybe like
billion.
10. Yeah.
10 billion. Yeah, that's what it'll
Well, I mean, they're
take,
offering $1 billion for Mbappe to play
for
1
one
year.
player.
Yeah.
One player.
Yeah. I mean, Messi and Ronaldo. It's crazy.
Serious old
But
money.
yeah, I'm with you. The players, they put their bodies on the line.
Sure.
One wrong hit or, there's another DeMar Hamlin incident like last year. You never know what could happen. Plus, after they,
Right.
post career, if anything
Yeah.
surfaces with that. But yeah, I mean, everybody should get a cut of the pie for sure, especially
Is
with how
there
much.
is there anything they can do in their in say like their rookie contracts when they're can they put in those little bonus numbers and stuff like that? Not I
The
guess
incentives.
yeah, like instead I guess
Incentives, you mean?
yeah, I guess that wouldn't be fair for all of them because of like playing time and stuff like that. But it's like if you went out there and if you just say like for example, if you got the starter job and that was some of those incentives were in your contract, I think that could be some extra money too that they could gain. And
Sure.
it wouldn't be guaranteed money, but at the same time, it would it make some of those incentives somewhat reachable. Give them I don't know, give them 100,000 if they can reach like 750 yards or something, or something like that.
Yeah.
If they score 5 touchdowns or just little things like that to where they'll be motivated, I think, but also like it might help us just some of that extra money maybe they're looking for. And I mean, I know some of this stuff is like, I don't know exactly what those numbers those running backs are looking for, but like I know the difference between, or not difference, but I know there wasn't much money difference between a couple of these contracts, and so I get it, but Ryan's right though too, I guess you guys are both right. It's like with the owners, they want to make sure that they have a solid, they want to make sure their money's not just being wasted, but again, how much football do they know? It's just like they hear someone say, "Hey, we're this guy, blah blah. I like this guy. We're locking him up." It's like, well, who's in his ear? I mean, this could be just a nobody.
Yeah.
This could be somebody that just knows how to manage money, or something. So I don't know. It's a mess, but they are owed. I think I don't. If there's a way to get that money early for them, where they can have a little bit of guaranteed money, or maybe with the incentives in their contracts, then maybe that can like alleviate some of that stuff. Instead of like, I don't like the fact that some of these guys just use their running backs and they're just like, oh, you're done, all right, cool, you're out.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't like that for me. So,
Well, the rookies actually have a wage scale, so there's like a
Yeah.
certain set. I think it was Matthew Stafford was the last one that got the huge, like 50
Yeah, they got
million
the huge
guaranteed.
money. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a rookie scale, so like Bryce one got 41.2 million for being the number one overall pick.
yeah, but those are quarterbacks too, though.
Like,
So it's
yeah, but like the league, Mr. Irrelevant this year will make $769,000.
Yeah.
Which is
750,000 is the minimum.
yeah.
They have to get. They have to at least get 750,000.
So yeah,
so
again,
So
if they can figure out an area there, and that it's like for them for their what's usually a rookie contract, 2 to 3 years.
well the first round's 4
4.
with you could pick up the 5th year option.
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
So
okay.
and then
So
but everything else like second and third rounders I think are 4 years.
okay.
So
I mean, I don't see why they couldn't find an area there to just kind of have that, maybe again just again incentives or some way to work it. I don't know, but bet you would get a lot more players like more motivated and ready to go do some stuff, and that might make it more competition. So that way, no matter what your rating is, a running back, I mean, if you're not out there getting the job done, you get replaced real quick. Like so.
that or they're just all going to grow up to be wide receivers now and
That's true.
quarterbacks.
That's true. Yes, Kind of curious on that stuff too.
Maybe we'll just have offenses that are just fullback only.
Yeah.
What's gonna be kind of crazy is if the league shifts again, it goes back to like a running back kind of league when all these guys kind of not necessarily go away, but like say there certain breeds aren't back there anymore.
Be interesting.
Because it's
Well,
gonna do
that's
For
that.
sure.
It's I mean
yeah,
sports
it's
Yeah.
weird.
always do
You
it.
know, well, it's like back in the day, D tackles didn't make what they used to, and now they do.
Yep.
Like guards, offensive guards. Hear about like Zach Martin's holding out from the
Yeah.
Cowboys. And he's one of the 99
He's a
rated
99er,
on
dude.
Madden.
Yeah.
So shouldn't he be the top paid guard?
Catch a niner in there?
But I mean, safeties make more than running backs. Are safeties more important than running backs?
No, I mean, it's debatable. I
Again,
don't know.
again,
I mean,
again. I'd go with your particular franchise and what your scheme is. I mean, you say if that's on the Bills side, I'd say right now, yes, because they're more of a defensive heavy before they'll run the ball. I mean, if they want to run the ball, they'd have better running backs. I mean, no knock on Cook that's being there right now, but yeah, I mean they use the run the football for more Josh Allen's talents. So to them, they seem to value the defensive side, I think, more. You say Chicago? Chicago's a run first offense. They always will be. They always have been, I should say. I think it just varies. Sometimes,
yeah.
I don't necessarily think a safety or a cornerback is more valuable, so to say, than a running back. But if you get a shutdown corner, they can knock down, like take down or hold down a Jefferson or a Tyreek Hill or something like that. Yeah, they should probably get some money.
All right. So, Ryan? What do you think the top paid positions in the league should be?
Quarterback for sure, just because you got to know every single play, not just offense, but defense. You pretty much got to be able to read everything on the field at one time. The most scrutinized position. Um, pretty much, I used to not think they really earn their pay, but, they probably do, honestly, as far as all the pressure they have on that position. Um, I think, man, as much as people don't want to admit it, linemen are important, man.
Yeah,
It's won and lost in the trenches,
Absolutely.
like that's an important
Absolutely.
position, man. You're nothing without a lineman. I could see, I look at Mahomes when they won last year. Juju was their number one guy, not really a Pro Bowler anymore. And then, Tony at receiver, they didn't really have just the best receivers. Their offensive line was great. Their defensive line was great, and that's one reason why I think they won. They had the best line on both sides of the ball.
Yep.
So, I would probably put that. I mean, maybe receiver. I see a lot. But then I see a lot of the better teams that win. I mean, receiver is not hugely important. It's you just got to have someone that can catch 80 balls a year for you, and you'll be fine. Um, yeah, and I don't know. Defense still too. I don't know. I mean,
Corner.
linebacker, corner. Yeah. I mean, like you said, if you can shut someone down. But the way they scheme it now, a lot it takes away a lot of the deep ball. It doesn't always force the cornerbacks to play one on one. They give up a lot of short stuff, But the way teams are scheming the defenses now, it's not as it's not as as much as a one-on-one for the cornerback anymore. So, but I don't know, man. It's hard. You know, those are kind of what I feel are kind of at the top. So,
yeah,
I think you
I,
got. I think you got to pay pass rusher. Go ahead, T.
yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Yeah, defensive line, no doubt. I don't really consider a lot of those guys we were calling outside like Brian Burns, defensive end, man. You know,
yeah.
call him a linebacker all you want, but he's 285, 290.
Right.
So, TJ Watt, I get it. Call him outside linebacker, okay? he'd probably consider himself a defensive end. So but yeah, it's the lines on both sides are hugely important.
Definitely
So
so. Definitely so. Yeah, I don't disagree with that any of that. I think the lines, the quarterback, of course. I mean, now that it's now that the league's evolved to where it kind of has. I mean, and I guess it's not necessarily that it's evolved into where it has, but the quarterback's usually been like the captain. They're kind of the ones that control the game. You know, I think for myself, I think they do actually deserve most of that money. Um, they're kind of the engine, but at the same time, there's multiple engines to it, and so if you don't have a great offensive line, you're not able to protect the quarterback. You're also not able to run the football. Um, so
right,
you're kind of in a one dimensional kind of offense, or how do you come back when you're down, three possessions or a 17-0 kind of scenario and stuff. So if you don't have that kind of stuff going on, or, line protection, things like that, it'll get there. Same thing with the defensive line, though. If you can't stop the run nor pressure that quarterback, then I mean, you see an old Bill come into a game. If he knows he can run the ball on you, he's not letting he's
yeah,
not letting the quarterback touch that. He's gonna run that ball 3 times, pick up that first down, sit on that clock. So I think the linemen are important. I mean, the linebackers. I think all of it eventually just bleeds into what would be the overall like team stuff. But yeah, I think those positions are. But again, it's tough to not put the running backs up there with say linemen and say one of your better protective cornerbacks and linebackers. But it's like they touch the ball a lot more than defensive players do. So, but yeah, I definitely don't disagree there though. I just feel bad for
well,
them.
the center, I will say the center does touch the ball on every offensive play.
It's
So
true.
you
It's
gonna pay
true.
your center as much,
says the former center in school, folks.
right?
Oh
I
man,
mean, he does.
That's that bias right there. I like
that's
that.
hilarious.
I get that. That's why. Yep. Well, speaking of, all right. So yeah, I think that's all. You guys have good points. I think left tackle is the key. You need to protect that franchise quarterback. Yeah,
Yeah,
you guys
Sure.
both right. Offensive line, defensive line, and then your quarterback, and then you add weapons. While on the rookie contract, but that left tackle, that's your blind side. That's your protector. So you pay a left
Right.
tackle. You pay the quarterback.
Right.
Um, you pay like one like high skilled position player on offense.
Right.
And then defense, pass rusher, and corner. That's it. But I mean, it's like we're saying not pay these guys. These guys are still making good money.
Oh yeah.
Not
Oh yeah.
unfortunately not. With taxes and paying agents and stuff like that, they lose a good chunk. But still, if they're smart, they sit on it and they
They're
can.
multimillionaires
Yeah,
regardless.
yeah. I mean,
They should be set for life as long as they got their finances in order.
sure,
So
and if you come, now with NIL, you could come in already having some cash in the bank.
sure.
If you're a celeb, like I remember reading that when Saquon got drafted by the Giants, he hadn't even spent any of his rookie deal. He put it all in the bank
Yeah.
and just lived off his endorsements.
Oh yeah.
So I
Sure.
mean, plus they're playing a game and could retire at 30, 32 and turn into Ricky
Yep.
Williams and be Aaron Rodgers ayahuasca all the time.
Right.
I mean, we got. I think a lot of things is not necessarily these running backs that come together and have this meeting or whatever, but I think a lot of people forget that these are kids. These are kids that make a lot of money, much like in the NBA and stuff. And if they don't have a good, like Ryan said, or even both of y'all said about your financial stuff going on. I mean, they're just out there.
Yeah. Financial planning.
They're trying to go get all flashy and spend money when they don't need to, and all this other stuff. And it's like, it's That's probably what makes some of those guys really reluctant to actually do those things. Pay contracts and stuff, or give them guaranteed money, because once they get the money, they didn't come perform. So it's just
Zion Williams.
it's tough to trust them kids like that, and some of them act up, But I know the NFL is different, but when it comes to that stuff, it's like, especially spending money, it's hard to look at someone and be like, man, you spent $5 million in a year, like, what are you doing? So yeah,
Yeah.
that's I think it's a very good point. If they get some of that money and they do what's right with it, they'll be fine. They'll be just fine, probably for the rest of their lives. But I think I can't say it's greed, but I think there is an area of underappreciation for those running backs. I honestly do. So
Sure.
Definitely. Well, I mean, how do you think you would have handled that much money at that age?
I wouldn't have been good with it.
Oh
I would
yeah.
have been
Hell,
good.
Yeah.
even at this age now, it's like, I mean, I would think that I would, if I had some kind of money like that, I would look right over to someone and pay them to make sure that I would never fuck up. So yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, I would say all these leagues, they give them the tools to financially plan. They
Mm-hmm.
have classes on it.
Classic
They have
moments.
veteran players that come in and talk to them. They have players on their team that advise them, that tell them, say, look, plan for your future, know what to do. And you see the really good players do that. You see them plan and know that they're going to be set for a long time. That they can get by with, oh, I only got paid $5 million, this year, and blah blah blah. And well, you can live a pretty good life off $5 million even still
Sure.
today. And you know make that for a year, and that's a pretty good yearly take. So, I think it's all up to them too, how mature they are, and how much they're willing to take the advice from all the tools they're given. You can only do so much for people before they have to own up to it.
Sure.
So,
That's
For
true.
sure.
it's on
Very true.
them. It's on them too.
And again, I'm not talking
So,
about these more veteran running backs, these guys that come together as a meeting. I'm not referring to them.
sure.
They've all proven themselves and then some. And so I understand completely where they're coming from. I just it's hard. It's just one of those. There's got to be a way to kind of not necessarily make everyone happy. I don't want to say that, but they shouldn't just be looked as well, man. You're going to be our workhorse for the next 3 years, and if you don't get after that, you out. I mean, that's a crappy way of looking at it. So I understand where some of these people come from. I get it. And again,
No.
it's kids. There's a lot of young kids, so it's maybe some of that area can be checked. Maybe there's some financial backing that the owners and stuff can do to make sure these guys can have some of that, know how to spend their money.
Sure.
Yeah.
Plus, I think what these running backs are doing now is they're also looking out for the future running backs. Fighting for
Absolutely.
the
Sure.
running back
Absolutely.
brotherhood. So, which, I mean, it sucks that basically none of this is really going to come. Anything's going to come of it, unfortunately.
Right.
I guess we'll see. But maybe back in the day when quarterbacks started signing for 20 million, everybody started freaking out, and now it's 50, 60 million coming up.
Right.
So, but that'll be a topic for another day. So,
See, and you think Otani's gonna get overpaid? I mean, the quarterbacks are getting 50 million, 55 million for playing how many games? 17.
yeah.
Otani's playing 162, man,
Plus,
or probably 150 games a year,
A little bit more physical.
and he's pitching in 30 of them.
A
So
little bit more physical sport on this, but at the same time,
true.
I do see your
every
point
day
there.
for baseball.
I do see your point there.
Baseball's every day. So
It's a
I don't
grind.
know. But
Yeah.
I don't know. So, all right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this
Yes.
edition of the Real Tree Shaker Show. We want to thank you all for joining.
Thank you
We'll
for
be
letting us
back
break the branches.
Yes. Thank you.
Knock,
For shaking trees.
knock your leaves off you.
That's
Thanks for
right.
tuning in.
And
Hopefully,
use that
entertained
dust.
someone and made someone laugh. 2 goals there.
Use that dust to blow sunflower seeds off that person in front of you at the ball
Yes.
game.
Never be afraid to be someone's personal fan.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.
Yes.
Peace out.
Good night.
Peace.
Love.